Once upon a quiet night, in a cozy little cave at the edge of a peaceful forest, there lived a sleepy bear named Barlow. Barlow had soft brown fur, gentle eyes, and a heart full of dreams. Every evening, just as the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Barlow would get ready for bed. But tonight was different. Tonight, the forest whispered to him, softly calling him into a gentle journey. Barlow blinked his eyes and looked outside his cave. The moonlight was calm and silver, shining down through the tall trees. A soft wind brushed through the leaves, making a sweet, sleepy sound. "Maybe I'll take a short walk," Barlow yawned. "Just a little one, before I sleep." He wrapped his favorite blue scarf around his neck, the one Grandma Bear had made for him, and padded slowly into the woods. His big paws made quiet sounds in the soft moss as he walked. Everything felt calm. Everything felt slow. It was like the forest itself was sleeping. As Barlow walked deeper, he saw fireflies dancing in the air, like tiny floating stars. They blinked and shimmered gently, lighting the path ahead. The sound of an owl in the distance echoed softly, not loud or scary, just calm, like a lullaby in the trees. Barlow smiled sleepily. "What a dreamy night," he whispered. Soon, he reached a little stream, where water trickled over smooth stones. Barlow sat beside it and listened. The sound was soft and slow, like a whisper saying, "Rest, rest, rest." He dipped his paw into the cool water and sighed. "I think the forest is dreaming too," he mumbled. As he stood to walk again, he saw something glowing under a tree. It was a tiny fox cub curled up on a bed of leaves. The fox was already asleep, breathing softly in and out, in and out. Barlow smiled. "Sweet dreams, little one," he said quietly and tiptoed past. The trees above formed a blanket of stars. Each leaf shimmered with moonlight. The deeper Barlow walked, the more magical the forest became. It didn't feel like a regular forest anymore. It felt like Dreamland. In a small clearing, Barlow saw a gentle deer lying in the grass, humming a soft tune. "Hello, Barlow," she said kindly. "The Dream Forest welcomes you. Would you like to rest here for the night?" Barlow yawned a big, cozy yawn. "That sounds lovely," he said. The grass was soft, the air was cool, and the stars above blinked slowly like sleepy eyes. He lay down beside the deer, his scarf tucked under his chin. The wind wrapped around him like a lullaby. The trees stood tall, watching over him. Somewhere nearby, a lullaby played. Not from music, but from the rustling leaves, the flowing water, and the whispering wind. Barlow closed his eyes. He dreamed of floating clouds, warm sunbeams, and honey cakes. He dreamed of his cave, his Grandma Bear's stories, and the soft sound of bedtime lullabies. The dream forest held him like a soft hug, and slowly, gently, Barlow drifted into the deepest, sweetest sleep. Once upon a quiet night in the middle of a soft, peaceful forest, there lived a gentle bear named Toby. Toby was known by all the forest animals as the calmest and kindest bear around. He loved simple things: the sound of the wind in the trees, the feel of moss under his paws, and the sweet smell of honey in the air. Toby had a special bedtime routine. Every evening, when the sky turned purple and the stars peeked out, he would take a slow walk around the edge of the forest. He didn't walk fast or far. He just liked to say goodnight to the trees, the river, and the moon. One night, as the moon rose high above the treetops, Toby felt extra sleepy. His eyes blinked slowly, and his steps became soft and quiet. The forest around him felt like a lullaby. The leaves rustled gently. The crickets chirped a soft song. Everything was calm. As Toby walked, he came to a little stream. The water flowed slowly over smooth stones, making a quiet sound like whispering. Toby sat by the stream and dipped his paw in the cool water. He sighed happily. It was the perfect place to relax. Nearby, a family of rabbits was already curled up in their burrow, sound asleep. Toby smiled and whispered, "Good night, little bunnies." He didn't want to wake anyone. The whole forest felt like it was already dreaming. Toby looked up at the sky. The stars twinkled gently, and a soft breeze carried the scent of pine and flowers. It made him feel warm and safe. "Maybe I should head home now," he said softly. He walked back slowly, passing tall trees that seemed to nod goodnight as he passed. The wind wrapped around him like a soft blanket. An owl hooted far away, not loud, just enough to say, "Sleep well, Toby." Toby finally reached his cozy cave. Inside, everything was quiet and warm. His bed was made of soft grass and feathers. He stepped inside, curled up in a ball, and pulled his favorite blanket over him. It smelled like sunshine and forest flowers. He let out a long yawn and closed his eyes. In his mind, he was already dreaming of floating clouds, gentle rivers, and sweet golden honey. He imagined flying through the stars on a soft cloud, smiling at the moon, and waving at the sleeping forest below. Outside his cave, the wind kept singing its slow lullaby. The trees swayed gently. The stars blinked slowly, like they were falling asleep too. Everything was quiet. Everything was still. Toby breathed in and out slowly, gently, peacefully. And just like that, Toby the gentle bear fell into a deep, soft sleep, calm, safe, and happy. Good night, little dreamer. Sleep just like Toby, slow, quiet, and full of sweet dreams. On a quiet night in the heart of the forest, there lived a little bear named Benny. Benny was small, with soft, fluffy fur and bright, curious eyes. He loved to play all day with his friends. But when the sun set and the stars came out, Benny would get very sleepy. One evening, as Benny finished his playtime, the sky turned a beautiful shade of purple, and the first star appeared. Time for bed, Benny yawned, stretching his little arms. But tonight felt different. There was a gentle breeze in the air, and the trees seemed to whisper his name. Benny, Benny. Curious, Benny looked up at the moon. It was shining brightly, and it looked like it was winking at him. He blinked his eyes, unsure if he was just too sleepy, or if the moon was really talking to him. But then something magical happened. The moon's light grew even brighter, and suddenly, Benny felt his paws leave the ground. He floated slowly up into the air, with the stars twinkling all around him like tiny, shining diamonds. The air was soft and cool, and Benny felt warm and safe. Where am I going? Benny whispered. The moon's voice, as soft as the breeze, answered, Tonight, little bear, you're going on a magical adventure. Benny gasped. He had never gone on an adventure like this before. As he floated higher, he saw the forest below, the trees and animals all looking like little toys in the distance. The night sky opened up before him, and he felt like he was flying through a dream. The moon guided him to a hidden part of the forest, a place Benny had never seen before. The trees here were tall and ancient, with golden leaves that shimmered in the moonlight. The ground was covered in soft, glowing moss that made the forest look like it was alive with magic. Benny landed gently on the moss, feeling as if he had stepped into another world. He looked around, amazed by the beauty of the place. A gentle breeze blew through the golden leaves, making soft musical sounds. Benny listened closely, and he could hear the trees singing a lullaby. The air was filled with the scent of sweet flowers and the sound of distant waterfalls. This is the dream forest, the moon said softly. It's a place where all good dreams begin. And tonight, Benny, you are here to visit it. Benny's eyes sparkled with wonder. He had never heard of the dream forest before, but it felt like the most peaceful place in the world. He took a deep breath, feeling the calm energy of the place fill him with peace. As he walked through the dream forest, Benny met other animals who were all preparing for their own peaceful sleep. A wise owl perched on a branch, his feathers glowing softly. Good evening, Benny, the owl said. The dream forest welcomes you. Benny smiled and continued walking. He saw rabbits snuggled together, foxes curled up on soft beds of leaves, and deer lying peacefully under the trees. Each animal seemed to be drifting into a calm, peaceful sleep, and their dreams seemed to float around them like soft clouds. Benny felt sleepy too. He yawned again, and the moon's light grew even softer, wrapping him in a warm glow. It's time for you to sleep now, little bear, the moon whispered. Benny curled up on a soft bed of moss, feeling safe and warm. The dream forest sang its lullaby, and Benny closed his eyes. His mind drifted to peaceful dreams of flying through the stars, dancing with the moon, and swimming in the cool, clear waters of a magical stream. As Benny slept, the stars above twinkled even brighter, and the forest whispered its good night. Sweet dreams, little bear, the trees hummed, and in the quiet of the dream forest, Benny the sleepy little bear slept soundly, surrounded by magic and peace, until morning came. Good night, little dreamer. May you sleep just like Benny, with peaceful dreams and magical adventures. Once upon a time, in a peaceful forest, there lived a gentle bear named Oliver. Oliver was a kind bear with soft brown fur and big warm eyes. He lived in a cozy little den at the edge of the forest, where the trees were tall and the air smelled sweet. Every day, Oliver would wander through the forest, enjoying the sights and sounds of nature. As the sun began to set, Oliver would feel a little bit sleepy. The sky turned soft shades of pink and orange, and the stars slowly started to twinkle. The forest would become quieter, and everything seemed to calm down for the night. It was Oliver's favorite time of day. One evening, after a long day of playing and exploring, Oliver felt especially sleepy. He sat down on a soft patch of grass, letting the cool evening breeze brush against his fur. The soft rustling of the leaves in the trees and the distant sound of a babbling brook made him feel even more relaxed. "I think it's time to rest," Oliver said to himself. He slowly stood up and walked back to his cozy den, where his soft bed of leaves and moss was waiting for him. It was the perfect place to sleep after a long day. As Oliver settled down on his bed, he closed his eyes and took a deep breath. The air smelled fresh, like pine and flowers, and he could hear the gentle sound of the forest around him. Everything felt safe and calm. Oliver smiled to himself, feeling completely at peace. The moon began to rise in the sky, casting a soft glow over the forest. The stars twinkled like little diamonds, and the night seemed to stretch on forever. Oliver felt warm and comfortable in his den, and he knew it was time to let go of his thoughts and drift into sleep. But just before he closed his eyes, something magical happened. A soft breeze blew through the forest, carrying a gentle, soothing melody. The trees swayed to the rhythm, and the wind whispered sweet lullabies to the animals of the forest. Oliver's ears perked up, and he listened closely. It was a song of peace, a song of dreams. The more he listened, the sleepier he felt. His body relaxed, and his eyelids grew heavier and heavier. The song was like a soft blanket, wrapping him in warmth and comfort. As the song filled the air, Oliver felt his body sink deeper into his bed. He could feel the softness of the moss beneath him, and the warmth of the earth surrounding him. The world outside felt distant, and all that mattered was the peaceful, calm feeling inside his heart. With a content sigh, Oliver finally closed his eyes. The soft melody of the forest and the gentle night air carried him into a peaceful sleep. His dreams were filled with soft clouds and twinkling stars, and he floated gently through the night sky. In his dreams, he traveled through fields of flowers, swam in crystal-clear lakes, and played with his friends in the soft moonlit forest. Every dream was peaceful and calming, just like the night around him. The forest was silent, except for the soft sounds of the breeze and the distant calls of owls. The stars above seemed to blink softly, keeping watch over the peaceful bear as he slept. The night was his, full of peace and magic. As the night passed, Oliver's breathing slowed, and his dreams became even more peaceful. He felt safe, loved, and happy. There was nothing to worry about, just the soft song of the forest and the quiet night around him. And so, Oliver the dreamy bear slept soundly through the night, surrounded by the magic of the forest and the comfort of his dreams. Good night, little one. May you fall asleep just like Oliver, with a heart full of peace and dreams as gentle as the wind. On a quiet and peaceful night, deep in the heart of the forest, there lived a curious bear named Benny. Benny was a big brown bear with soft fur and gentle eyes. He lived in a cozy den under a tall oak tree. Every evening, as the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Benny would feel a little restless. The moonlight would shine softly through the leaves, and a quiet breeze would whisper through the trees. One night, as Benny lay in his soft bed, he felt the urge to go on a midnight walk. The forest looks so beautiful under the moonlight, Benny thought. Maybe I'll take a little stroll and see what I can find. Benny stood up and stretched his paws. The air was cool and fresh as he stepped outside his den. The forest was so calm and peaceful at night. The trees were tall and dark, their leaves swaying gently in the wind. Benny loved the nighttime in the forest. Everything seemed magical. As he wandered deeper into the forest, Benny heard a soft whispering sound. It wasn't the wind, but something else. The trees were whispering to each other. "Hello, Benny," the trees seemed to say. "Come, follow us. We have something special to show you." Benny was surprised. He had never heard the trees talk before. He felt a little nervous but also excited. What could they be showing me? Benny wondered. With a curious heart, Benny followed the whispering sound, carefully stepping through the soft grass and fallen leaves. The deeper he went into the forest, the more the trees seemed to come alive. The moonlight shone down in patches, illuminating the path ahead. The whispering grew louder and softer, like a soft lullaby. Benny felt the rhythm of the forest in his paws, guiding him along. After a short walk, Benny reached a small clearing. In the center of the clearing was a beautiful pond, its surface shimmering like silver under the moon. The trees surrounding the pond were tall and ancient, their trunks thick and strong. They bent slightly toward the water, almost as if they were admiring their own reflection. The whispering stopped, and everything became still. Benny stepped closer to the pond, feeling a sense of peace wash over him. He gazed at the water, watching the ripples dance gently across the surface. The moon's reflection shimmered in the pond, and for a moment, it felt as if time had stopped. As Benny stared at the water, he began to feel sleepy. The quiet beauty of the pond and the soft whispers of the trees made him feel safe and calm. He yawned and stretched his paws again. The peacefulness of the night made him want to close his eyes and rest. I think it's time to head back to my den, Benny thought, feeling content and relaxed. The trees seemed to agree, gently rustling their leaves as if to say goodbye. Benny turned around and began to walk back through the forest, following the path he had come from. The whispering trees now sounded like a soft lullaby, guiding him home. The night air was cool, and the stars above twinkled brightly. Everything around him seemed to be calming him, wrapping him in a warm, peaceful blanket. As Benny neared his den, he felt his eyes growing heavy. The walk had been just what he needed, a peaceful adventure under the stars, with the soft whispers of the trees guiding him every step of the way. He finally reached his den, crawled into his cozy bed of leaves, and curled up with a contented sigh. The forest outside was quiet now, with only the occasional rustle of leaves in the breeze. Benny closed his eyes, feeling safe and calm, the peaceful memories of his midnight walk filling his dreams. "Good night, Benny." The trees seemed to whisper one last time. "Sleep well, little bear." And with that, Benny drifted into a peaceful sleep, the soft whispers of the woods keeping him company as he dreamed of the moonlit pond and the gentle breeze of the whispering woods. Good night, little dreamer. May you sleep as peacefully as Benny the bear, with dreams full of wonder and calm. Once upon a time, in a quiet corner of the forest, there lived a soft and gentle bear named Max. Max had warm, brown fur that shone in the sunlight and big, sleepy eyes that always seemed ready for a nap. He loved to spend his days exploring the forest, but when the sun began to set, he knew it was time to rest. One peaceful evening, as the sky turned a soft shade of pink and purple, Max felt his body grow heavy with sleep. He had spent the whole day walking through the forest, listening to the birds sing and watching the leaves dance in the wind. Now, as the stars began to twinkle above, Max found a cozy spot by a gentle stream to sit down. The day was perfect, Max thought, looking up at the sky. Now it's time to close my eyes and let the night take over. Max closed his eyes and took a deep breath. The air was cool and fresh, filled with the scent of pine and wildflowers. He listened to the soft sound of the stream flowing nearby, its gentle whispers making him feel even more relaxed. As Max sat there, enjoying the quiet of the evening, he felt a gentle breeze rustle the leaves around him. The trees seemed to sway and hum a soft lullaby, their branches reaching up to the sky as if they were singing Max to sleep. Max smiled, feeling the peacefulness of the forest wrap around him like a soft blanket. He lay down on the soft grass, his head resting on a bed of leaves. The sound of the stream and the rustling trees made him feel calm, and his body relaxed, ready for a good night's sleep. As Max's eyes grew heavier, he thought about the dreams he might have that night. Maybe he would dream of running through the forest with his friends, or maybe he would dream of swimming in a cool, clear pond. No matter what, Max knew that his dreams would be peaceful and full of happiness. The stars twinkled brightly above, casting a soft glow over the forest. The world was quiet now, with only the sounds of the stream and the occasional chirp of a cricket filling the air. Max felt safe and content, surrounded by the beauty of the forest and the calming night. Soon, Max's breathing slowed, and he fell into a deep, peaceful sleep. His dreams were gentle, filled with soft clouds and calm breezes. He dreamed of walking through fields of colorful flowers, where the sun was always warm, and the sky was always clear. In his dreams, he ran through the forest with his friends, laughing and playing, free from worries or cares. The forest around him seemed to settle into a peaceful silence as Max slept. The trees stood tall and proud, their branches swaying gently in the wind. The stars above twinkled like little diamonds, keeping watch over the sleepy bear as he rested. Max's dreams were full of soft, happy thoughts, and he felt a warmth in his heart. He knew that the forest would always take care of him, just like it had taken care of him today. Every night, the forest would be there, waiting for him to close his eyes and drift into a peaceful sleep. And so, Max slept soundly through the night, the gentle sounds of the forest guiding him into the sweetest of dreams. The peaceful night embraced him, filling him with calm and joy. Good night, little one. May you sleep as peacefully as Max, with dreams full of wonder and calm. In the heart of a peaceful forest, there lived a bear named Teddy. Teddy was a gentle bear with soft, brown fur and kind eyes that always seemed to sparkle with curiosity. But as the evening approached and the stars began to shine, Teddy's sleepy eyes would begin to close, and he would start to yawn. One evening, as the sun dipped below the trees and the sky turned a soft shade of purple, Teddy felt the sleepiness take over. He had spent the day exploring the forest, playing with his animal friends, and watching the birds sing. Now, as the cool night air wrapped around him, he found a cozy spot near a big oak tree and curled up on the soft grass. Teddy let out a big yawn and closed his eyes. The gentle sounds of the forest, rustling leaves, chirping crickets, and the soft trickle of a nearby stream made him feel calm and safe. His body relaxed, and he felt ready to drift into sleep. As Teddy lay there, the soft breeze whispered through the trees. The trees seemed to murmur a lullaby, a song that only Teddy could hear. He imagined the trees were telling him a secret, inviting him to go on a magical journey. Slowly, Teddy's eyelids grew heavier and soon, he drifted into a deep sleep. In his dreams, Teddy found himself standing in a beautiful meadow, surrounded by tall grasses and colorful flowers. The sky above him was filled with twinkling stars, and the moon shone brightly, casting a soft light over everything. It was a peaceful, magical place, a perfect dreamland for a sleepy bear like Teddy. As Teddy looked around, he saw that the meadow was not empty. His friends, the animals of the forest, were there too. There was Benny the rabbit, Sally the squirrel, and even Frederick the wise owl. They were all gathered in a circle, looking at something in the center of the meadow. Curious, Teddy walked closer to see what was happening. In the middle of the circle, there was a glowing, sparkling pond. The water shimmered like diamonds, and Teddy could see soft ripples forming on the surface. The animals all looked at the pond in wonder, and Teddy felt a sense of calm and happiness fill him. "Come, Teddy," Benny the rabbit said with a smile. "The Dreamland adventure is about to begin. You're just in time." Teddy's heart filled with excitement as he joined his friends by the pond. As he stepped closer to the water, he saw something amazing. The pond was not just a pond, it was a doorway to a magical world. The water swirled, and a gentle current began to pull them all in. Before Teddy could say a word, he felt himself being gently lifted into the air by the sparkling waters. He floated through the shimmering surface and found himself flying through the night sky. The stars twinkled all around him, and he could hear the soft whisper of the wind as he soared higher and higher. The Dreamland adventure had begun. Teddy flew over forests filled with glowing trees, across fields of soft, fluffy clouds, and through sparkling rivers that twisted and turned like ribbons of light. He felt free and happy, like he could fly forever. The soft night air and the gentle breeze made him feel so peaceful. After what felt like a wonderful adventure, Teddy slowly began to float back down. He landed softly in the meadow, surrounded by his friends, who were all smiling and laughing. They had shared an unforgettable journey together, one that only dreamers like Teddy could experience. As the magic of the dream world began to fade, Teddy felt himself drifting back into the warm, soft embrace of sleep. He could still hear the gentle lullaby of the trees and feel the peacefulness of the dreamland in his heart. Slowly, Teddy opened his eyes, finding himself back in the peaceful forest by the oak tree. The stars were still shining above, and the soft night breeze continued to whisper through the trees. Teddy smiled, feeling the warmth of the Dreamland adventure still in his heart. He yawned, stretched his paws, and snuggled deeper into the soft grass. The peaceful sounds of the forest and the memories of his magical adventure made him feel safe and happy. Teddy closed his eyes, drifting into a deep, peaceful sleep, ready to dream of more adventures in the magical world of dreams. Good night, little bear. May your dreams be as peaceful and magical as Teddy's adventure. Once upon a time, in a quiet forest far away, there lived a curious bear named Oliver. Oliver was a big, fluffy bear with a heart full of wonder. Every night, when the sky grew dark and the stars began to twinkle, he would look up at the moon with amazement. The moon seemed so close, as if he could reach out and touch it. One peaceful evening, as the golden sun set and the sky turned a soft shade of purple, Oliver decided that he wanted to chase the moon. He had always wondered what it would be like to see the moon up close, to walk beneath its glowing light. Tonight, I will follow the moon, he thought, feeling excited. With a smile on his face, Oliver stood up and began to walk through the forest. The cool evening breeze blew gently, rustling the leaves on the trees, and the stars began to peek out, one by one, lighting up the night sky. As Oliver walked, he noticed that the moon seemed to follow him. It stayed high in the sky, shining brightly, guiding him through the forest. Oliver walked for a long time, through meadows filled with soft grass and past tall, towering trees. The moon's light made everything glow softly, creating a peaceful and magical atmosphere. The world around him seemed quiet and calm, and every step he took felt like part of an enchanting adventure. After a while, Oliver came to a large, sparkling lake. The moonlight reflected off the water, making it look like a silver mirror. Oliver paused for a moment to admire the beauty of the scene. He wondered if the moon was as beautiful up close as it was from far away. He decided to walk around the lake, hoping to find a way to get closer to it. As he walked along the shore, he saw a family of fireflies glowing in the distance. They fluttered around him, lighting his way with their soft yellow light. I think the moon is just over the hill, Oliver thought, looking up at the sky. He could see the moon's bright reflection on the water, and it seemed to be leading him forward, just a little bit farther. Determined, Oliver continued his journey. The path grew steeper as he climbed the hill, but he didn't mind. With every step, he felt closer and closer to his goal. The moon, high above, watched over him, its soft glow illuminating the world around him. When he finally reached the top of the hill, Oliver stopped and looked around. The moon was now very close, right above him, shining brighter than ever. It cast a beautiful silvery light over the entire forest, making everything appear soft and magical. Oliver smiled, feeling proud of his journey. But as he stood there, gazing at the moon, he realized something important. Even though he had chased the moon all night, he didn't need to be right beneath it to enjoy its beauty. The moon was still with him, shining down from the sky, no matter where he was. Oliver took a deep breath, feeling the peace of the night fill him. He knew that the moon would always be there, guiding him, no matter how far he wandered. With a happy heart, Oliver decided it was time to return home. He walked back down the hill, feeling content and at peace. The moon stayed with him, lighting his way through the forest as if saying, "You've done it, little bear. You've chased me and found the magic in the journey." As Oliver made his way back to his cozy den, he felt the soft, cool night air around him and heard the rustling of the leaves in the trees. He knew that the forest was a magical place, full of wonders and adventures, and that the moon would always be there, shining down on him, guiding him through the darkest nights. Oliver reached his den, curled up on his soft bed of leaves, and closed his eyes. He felt peaceful and happy, knowing that the moon would watch over him while he slept. And as he drifted off to sleep, he smiled, knowing that tomorrow would bring more adventures and more wonders. Good night, little one. May the moon guide your dreams, just like it guided Oliver's journey. Once upon a time, in a peaceful forest filled with tall trees and soft, mossy ground, there lived a gentle bear named Benny. Benny was a kind and thoughtful bear who loved the quiet moments of the evening. Every night, after a long day of exploring, Benny would take a peaceful walk through the forest before bed. One calm evening, the sky turned a soft shade of purple as the sun set behind the hills. The stars began to twinkle high above, and the moon slowly rose, casting a silver light over the forest. Benny yawned and stretched, ready for his nightly walk. He left his cozy den and stepped onto the soft moss-covered path that wound through the trees. The air was cool, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves in the trees. Benny loved the peaceful sounds of the forest at night, the gentle chirping of crickets, the soft hoot of an owl, and the rustling of leaves. It was a time for quiet reflection and relaxation. As Benny walked along the path, he felt the earth beneath his paws and the cool breeze against his fur. The trees around him were tall and strong, their branches reaching up to the sky, while the leaves danced gently in the wind. Benny looked up at the stars twinkling above and felt a deep sense of calm. The moon shone brightly, casting a soft, silvery glow on everything around him. Benny smiled as he watched the light from the moon dance on the leaves, creating a shimmering path in front of him. It was as if the moon was guiding him on his peaceful journey. As Benny walked deeper into the forest, he came across a small stream. The water sparkled under the moonlight, gently flowing over smooth stones. Benny stopped for a moment and listened to the soft sound of the water trickling by. It was so calming, and it made him feel even more at peace. He sat down beside the stream, feeling the coolness of the earth beneath him. Benny took a deep breath and closed his eyes, letting the peaceful sounds of the forest wash over him. He could hear the wind in the trees, the soft call of the night birds, and the gentle flow of the stream. Everything felt perfect in that moment. After a while, Benny stood up and continued on his walk. The path led him through a meadow filled with soft grass that glowed in the moonlight. The flowers in the meadow were gently swaying in the breeze, their sweet scent filling the air. Benny loved this part of the forest. It was quiet and peaceful, a place where he could feel completely at ease. As he walked, Benny thought about all the beautiful things in the world. The stars, the moon, the gentle breeze, and the calm forest around him. He realized that even in the quiet moments, there was so much beauty to be found. The world didn't need to be loud or busy to be wonderful. Sometimes the quietest moments were the most beautiful. Eventually, Benny made his way back to his den. The stars were still twinkling, and the moon was shining brightly above. He curled up in his soft bed of leaves and closed his eyes. The gentle breeze outside whispered through the trees, and Benny felt peaceful and safe. As he drifted off to sleep, Benny knew that tomorrow would bring another peaceful day in the forest. And just like every night, the moon would shine down on him, guiding him through his dreams. Good night, little one. May you always find peace on your path, just like Benny the bear. In a faraway forest, where the trees stood tall, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of pine, there lived a gentle bear named Oliver. Oliver was a calm and peaceful bear who loved to explore the forest, especially at night. He had a favorite time of day, the moment when the sky turned dark and the stars twinkled high above. One beautiful evening, as the sun set behind the hills, Oliver decided to take a walk in the forest. The air was cool, and the sky was painted with soft shades of purple and orange. The stars began to appear, one by one, like tiny diamonds in the sky. Oliver smiled as he gazed up at them. He loved how peaceful the night sky looked, and he wondered about the stories each star might tell. As Oliver walked deeper into the forest, the trees grew thicker, and the moon rose higher in the sky. The moonlight filtered through the branches, casting a silvery glow on the forest floor. The night felt magical, and everything seemed so calm. The soft rustling of the leaves and the distant hoot of an owl made the forest feel alive, yet peaceful. As he walked along the path, Oliver suddenly noticed something strange. The stars in the sky above him seemed to be shining brighter, casting even more light on the path ahead. Oliver stopped and looked up, amazed. It was as if the stars were guiding him, leading him deeper into the forest. Curious, Oliver decided to follow the path illuminated by the stars. The more he walked, the brighter the stars became. It felt as though he was walking in a world made entirely of light and magic. The trees around him seemed to sparkle, and the leaves on the ground shimmered under the moonlight. As he walked deeper into the forest, Oliver came across a small clearing. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient tree, its trunk wide and strong, with branches that reached up to the stars. The tree seemed to glow, as though it had been touched by the stars themselves. Oliver approached the tree slowly, feeling a sense of wonder and calm. He sat down beneath the tree, looking up at the sky. The stars were now shining so brightly that it felt like he was surrounded by a sea of light. Oliver closed his eyes for a moment, listening to the soft sounds of the forest, the rustling leaves, the chirping crickets, and the occasional hoot of an owl. Suddenly, he felt something warm and gentle touch his fur. He opened his eyes and saw a soft, glowing light floating just above the ground. The light danced around him, moving gracefully in the air. Oliver smiled as he watched it, feeling as though the light was welcoming him into the peaceful night. The light floated higher into the sky, and as it did, the stars above seemed to twinkle even more brightly. It was as if the stars were shining just for Oliver, lighting up the night and making him feel at peace. As he sat there, watching the stars and the glowing light, Oliver realized something special. He realized that no matter where he went in the forest, the stars would always be there to guide him. They were a constant in the sky, always shining brightly, even on the darkest nights. Oliver felt comforted by this thought, knowing that the stars would always be there, shining down on him, no matter where he went. With a content heart, Oliver stood up and began his journey back home. As he walked through the forest, the stars continued to shine brightly above him, lighting his way. The forest felt peaceful, and the night seemed full of magic and wonder. When Oliver returned to his cozy den, he curled up in his soft bed, feeling safe and calm. He closed his eyes and drifted off to sleep, knowing that the stars would always be there, watching over him. Good night, little one. May you always find comfort and peace, just like Oliver the bear, under the stars. In the heart of a peaceful forest, there lived a gentle bear named Benny. Benny was known for his kind heart and calm spirit. Every night, after the sun had set and the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Benny would embark on a quiet journey through the forest. One particular evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Benny felt a gentle breeze sweeping through the trees. The leaves rustled softly, and the night sky slowly transformed into a blanket of deep blues and purples. The first stars began to appear, sparkling like tiny diamonds against the dark canvas of the sky. Benny looked up and smiled. He loved the peacefulness of the night, especially when the forest was so still and calm. Benny decided to take his usual nighttime walk, wandering through the woods with no particular destination in mind. His paws made soft, gentle sounds on the forest floor as he walked. The air smelled fresh, with hints of pine and earth. Everything around him felt peaceful and quiet. As he wandered deeper into the forest, Benny noticed something special. The moon was rising, casting a soft, silvery glow on everything it touched. The trees and the flowers seemed to glow softly under the moonlight. Benny felt like he was walking in a dream, where everything was calm and serene. He walked slowly, taking in the beauty around him. The forest was alive with gentle sounds. An owl hooted from a distance, and the wind whispered through the branches of the trees. Benny felt a sense of comfort as he listened to these sounds. They made him feel safe, as if the forest was wrapping him in a warm, protective hug. As Benny continued his journey, he reached a small clearing in the forest. In the center of the clearing stood an old oak tree. Its trunk was thick and strong, and its branches stretched out wide, reaching for the stars. Benny walked over to the oak tree and sat beneath its shadow. The soft glow of the moonlight made the tree's bark sparkle gently, and Benny felt a sense of calm wash over him. He sat there for a while looking up at the stars. They twinkled brightly above him, and Benny couldn't help but feel a deep sense of peace. He imagined that the stars were watching over him, guiding him through the night with their soft light. As Benny sat there, he felt his eyes begin to grow heavy. The peacefulness of the night, the soft glow of the moon, and the gentle sounds of the forest were all so soothing. His body relaxed, and he felt the gentle pull of sleep. Before he knew it, Benny was lying on the soft grass beneath the oak tree, his eyes closed and his body completely at rest. The night sky above him seemed to wrap him in a comforting embrace. He could still hear the whispers of the wind and the soft rustling of the leaves, but everything felt distant and calm. It was as though Benny was floating in a peaceful dream, where nothing could disturb his tranquility. As Benny drifted deeper into sleep, he felt safe and content. He knew that the forest would always be there for him, providing comfort and peace whenever he needed it. The stars above continued to shine, casting their soft light over him, as if they were saying, "Rest now, dear bear. You are safe." And with that, Benny fell into a deep, peaceful sleep, his dreams filled with the gentle sounds of the forest and the light of the stars. Good night, little one. Just like Benny the bear, may you always find peace and comfort in the quiet moments of the night. Sleep well and dream sweetly. In the heart of a peaceful forest, there lived a gentle bear named Oliver. Oliver was known for his calm nature and the kindness he showed to everyone around him. Every night, when the stars twinkled above and the moon cast its soft glow over the land, Oliver would take a slow and peaceful walk through the forest. One evening, after a long day of play, Oliver felt a yawn escape from his mouth. It was time for him to rest, but before he went to his cozy den, he decided to take one last stroll through the woods. The air was cool, and the scent of pine and fresh leaves filled the night air. The sound of rustling leaves and distant hoots of owls created a soft, peaceful melody. As Oliver walked along the soft, grassy path, he looked up at the sky. The moon was rising, bathing the forest in its gentle light. The stars twinkled like tiny diamonds scattered across the dark velvet sky. Everything seemed so still and calm, as if the entire forest was waiting for the night to unfold peacefully. Oliver took a deep breath and smiled. He loved how peaceful the forest felt at night. The calmness wrapped around him like a warm, comforting blanket. He kept walking, his paws making soft, quiet noises on the forest floor. The wind gently swayed the trees, creating a soothing rustle that made Oliver feel even sleepier. As he walked deeper into the forest, he reached his favorite spot, a quiet little glade surrounded by tall, graceful trees. This was the place where Oliver often came to relax. The ground was covered with soft moss, and the air smelled sweet with the fragrance of wildflowers. It was here that Oliver felt the most peaceful, as if all the worries of the world melted away. Oliver lay down on the soft moss, stretching his paws out comfortably. The night sky above him seemed to embrace him, its cool light casting a soft glow on the ground. He could hear the wind gently whispering through the trees, and the soft rustle of leaves made him feel as though the forest was singing a lullaby just for him. As Oliver lay there, he felt his eyelids grow heavy. The quiet sounds of the night, the soft rustling of the trees, and the gentle breeze all worked together to lull him into a deep sense of calm. His breathing slowed, and soon he could feel the warmth of sleep gently tugging at him. With every breath, he felt more and more relaxed. He imagined himself floating high in the sky, surrounded by the stars. The stars twinkled brightly, and their light wrapped around him like a soft blanket, making him feel safe and warm. The moon watched over him, shining its gentle light to keep him company. The longer Oliver lay there, the more peaceful he felt. His body relaxed completely, and the soothing sounds of the forest seemed to carry him into a peaceful dream. His mind began to drift, and he imagined himself drifting on a soft cloud, floating through a sky filled with stars. The cloud was so soft and warm, and it carried him gently through the night. As Oliver's breathing deepened, he felt his body become lighter, as though he was floating in the air. His thoughts became slower and slower, and everything around him faded into peaceful silence. The forest, the moon, the stars, they were all a part of his peaceful dream, guiding him gently into sleep. Soon, Oliver was asleep, nestled comfortably in the soft moss of his favorite spot. The night continued around him, calm and peaceful. The stars kept shining above, the moon kept watching over him, and the wind whispered through the trees, as if saying, "Sleep, little bear. Rest well." And so, Oliver slept soundly, surrounded by the peaceful forest that he loved so much. His dreams were as gentle and calm as the night itself, and he felt safe and content, knowing that tomorrow would bring another peaceful day in the beautiful forest. Good night, little one. Just like Oliver the bear, may you find peace and rest as you close your eyes and drift into a world of sweet dreams. Once upon a time, in a quiet forest filled with tall trees and soft grass, there lived a sleepy bear named Benny. Benny was the kind of bear who loved to take long naps during the day, but when the sun began to set and the stars twinkled above, Benny would go on his magical walk. Tonight, Benny felt especially sleepy, but there was something in the air that told him it was the perfect time for his walk. As the cool evening breeze whispered through the leaves, Benny slowly stood up from his cozy den. He stretched his big paws and yawned. "It's time," he said to himself with a sleepy smile. Benny knew that whenever he went for his magical walk, he would always feel more relaxed and peaceful by the end of it. With a soft, slow pace, Benny began his walk through the forest. The moonlight shone down from the sky, casting a gentle glow on the path ahead. The trees stood tall like friendly giants, their leaves rustling softly in the wind. Benny could hear the distant chirping of crickets and the gentle hoot of an owl. The forest was calm, peaceful, and full of gentle sounds that made Benny feel safe. As Benny walked deeper into the woods, the trees seemed to bend and sway, guiding him along the path. He walked with a smile on his face, knowing that the forest had a special way of helping him drift into the sweetest dreams. The leaves on the trees seemed to shimmer with a magical glow, and Benny felt his eyes growing heavier with each step. Soon, Benny found himself at a quiet clearing, his favorite spot in the whole forest. The soft grass was covered with tiny flowers that sparkled in the moonlight. Benny lay down on the cool, soft ground and looked up at the stars. They twinkled above him, like little lights guiding him on his journey. He took a deep breath and closed his eyes for a moment, letting the peacefulness of the forest fill him up. As he rested, something magical began to happen. The stars above began to shine even brighter, and a soft breeze blew through the clearing, carrying a sweet scent of wildflowers. Benny felt as if the wind was gently lifting him off the ground, like he was floating. His paws no longer touched the earth, and he slowly rose higher and higher, drifting toward the stars. Benny wasn't scared at all. In fact, he felt so calm and relaxed, as if the stars themselves were inviting him to a peaceful journey. He looked around and saw that the forest below him was becoming smaller and smaller, like a tiny patch of green under the sky. The wind carried him gently, and he floated higher, surrounded by the soft light of the moon. As Benny drifted further into the night sky, he saw a soft cloud nearby. It looked like a perfect pillow, so Benny decided to rest on it. He landed softly on the cloud, which was warm and cozy, just like his bed at home. Benny curled up on the cloud, feeling completely at peace. The cloud began to move slowly through the sky, carrying Benny to a land of dreams. In this magical dreamland, Benny saw fields of sparkling flowers that shimmered in the moonlight. There were gentle streams that flowed with crystal clear water, and butterflies fluttered around, their wings glowing in the dark. Benny smiled as he saw all of the beautiful things in this dream world. It was a place where nothing could make him feel worried or restless, just pure peaceful dreams. As Benny lay on the cloud, he felt the warmth of sleep starting to wash over him. The soft cloud rocked him gently, like a cradle, and he knew that he was ready to fall asleep. The stars above him twinkled even brighter, as if they were singing a lullaby to guide him into the sweetest dreams. Benny closed his eyes, letting the peacefulness of the dreamland fill him up. The magical walk had led him to the most beautiful place he had ever seen, and now it was time for him to rest. His breathing slowed, his body relaxed, and soon Benny was fast asleep, floating gently on his cloud. The stars continued to twinkle above him, keeping watch as he drifted deeper into his dreams. Benny knew that the forest, the moon, and the stars would always be there for him, guiding him on his magical walks to Dreamland whenever he needed rest. Good night, little one. Like Benny the bear, may you drift into a world of peaceful dreams, where the stars and moon are always watching over you. In a quiet forest, far away from the hustle and bustle of the world, there lived a gentle little owl named Oliver. Oliver had soft brown feathers and big wise eyes. Every night, when the moon would rise, he would set out on his quiet flight, soaring through the cool, calm air of the forest. The peaceful silence of the forest made Oliver feel safe, and he loved the quiet beauty of the night. Tonight, however, Oliver felt extra tired. The soft breeze and the twinkling stars seemed to invite him to take a rest. He decided to land on his favorite branch high in an ancient oak tree. The branch was soft and welcoming, and Oliver nestled into the leaves, his wings folding around him like a warm blanket. As Oliver settled into his comfortable spot, he looked around at the peaceful forest. The trees stood still in the moonlight, their leaves rustling gently in the breeze. The stars twinkled above like tiny diamonds scattered across a velvet sky. Everything felt perfect. Oliver closed his eyes for a moment, taking a deep breath of the cool night air. The forest was calm, and all the animals were quietly resting in their homes. The only sounds that reached Oliver's ears were the soft whispers of the wind and the gentle calls of the distant crickets. Everything in the world seemed to be at peace. Oliver's mind began to wander, and he thought about all the peaceful places he had visited on his nightly flights. He had flown over sparkling lakes, through fields of soft, golden grass, and over hills that seemed to glow in the moonlight. Every place he flew to felt like a dream. But no matter where he went, Oliver always came back to this spot in the tree. It was his favorite place to rest and dream. As Oliver nestled into the leaves of the oak tree, he began to imagine himself flying over a peaceful valley. The valley was filled with fields of beautiful flowers, and the soft scent of lavender and roses filled the air. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of pink, purple, and orange. The soft colors of the sunset made everything feel warm and cozy. Oliver gently closed his eyes as he imagined the soft breeze brushing against his feathers. The breeze carried the scent of fresh flowers and warm grass, and it felt like a gentle lullaby, whispering him to sleep. The more he thought about the peaceful valley, the sleepier he became. He could almost hear the soft hum of the wind, singing a sweet lullaby that made his eyelids feel heavy. As he imagined himself floating through the valley, Oliver could see a small pond in the center, where the water was calm and clear, reflecting the colors of the sky. He imagined landing gently by the water's edge, feeling the soft earth beneath his claws. He could hear the gentle ripple of the water, soothing and quiet, as it flowed slowly over the smooth rocks. The sound of the water was like a lullaby, a soothing melody that made Oliver feel calm and relaxed. His body felt lighter with every breath, and his wings fluttered softly, like they were ready to drift into sleep. The peaceful valley, with its soft colors and gentle sounds, made Oliver feel safe and at ease. With each passing moment, Oliver felt himself growing sleepier and sleepier. The moon above him shone brightly, casting a soft glow over the entire valley. The soft sounds of nature filled the air, and Oliver felt himself sinking deeper into the peaceful dream world he had imagined. His wings gently fluttered, and he felt his body relax completely. As the stars above twinkled softly, Oliver finally let go, allowing the peaceful valley and the gentle sounds of the night to carry him into the sweetest of dreams. The world around him was calm and still, and Oliver knew that he was safe. He could rest now, knowing that tomorrow's flight would bring even more peaceful moments to enjoy. The forest whispered softly, and Oliver's body relaxed completely as he fell into a deep, peaceful sleep. The gentle breeze, the soft sounds of the water, and the twinkling stars would be with him, guiding him through the most peaceful dreams. Good night, little one. Just like Oliver, may you drift off to sleep surrounded by peace, calm, and the gentle sounds of nature. Sweet dreams. In a peaceful forest, far away from the noise of the world, there lived a gentle bear named Benjamin. Benjamin was a big bear with soft brown fur and a kind heart. He had always been a little restless, finding it hard to settle down at night. Every evening, when the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Benjamin would pace around the forest, looking for a way to feel calm. One night, as the moon began to rise, Benjamin felt a sense of calmness that he had never experienced before. The moonlight was soft and glowing, casting a silver light over the forest floor. The trees stood still in the quiet night, and the cool breeze whispered through the leaves. Benjamin, who had often felt anxious, decided to follow the peaceful moonlight. He slowly walked through the forest, his large paws making soft sounds on the ground. As he walked, he noticed how the moonlight made everything look magical. The leaves on the trees shimmered like stars, and the flowers in the meadow glowed softly in the night. Everything felt so peaceful, so calm. Benjamin continued his walk through the forest, feeling the cool air on his fur. He wandered deeper into the woods, where the trees grew taller, and the moonlight shined brighter. The forest felt like a peaceful, magical place, and Benjamin felt his worries slowly begin to fade away. After a while, Benjamin reached a small clearing in the forest. In the center of the clearing was a beautiful calm pond. The surface of the pond was smooth like glass, reflecting the moon in all its beauty. Benjamin walked closer to the pond and sat down at its edge. He looked up at the sky, where the full moon hung brightly among the stars. For the first time, Benjamin felt a deep sense of peace. The gentle light of the moon seemed to wrap around him like a soft, comforting blanket. He closed his eyes and listened to the peaceful sounds of the forest. The wind whispered softly through the trees, and the distant sound of crickets chirped in the background. It was as if the whole forest was singing a lullaby just for him. Benjamin took a deep breath, feeling the cool air fill his lungs. The calmness of the night surrounded him, and he let go of all his worries. The moonlight, which had always seemed so far away, now felt close and comforting. He could feel the peaceful energy of the moon filling him up, making him feel lighter and more at ease. As he sat by the pond, Benjamin noticed how the moon reflected on the water. The ripples on the surface of the pond made the moonlight dance in beautiful patterns. Benjamin smiled softly, feeling a warmth in his heart. He realized that the moonlight had always been there, waiting for him to find peace. For the first time in a long while, Benjamin felt completely calm. He didn't need to walk around or worry about anything. The moon had shown him that peace was always within reach, even in the quietest moments of the night. As Benjamin sat by the pond, the moonlight continued to shine brightly, filling him with a sense of calm and comfort. The gentle breeze began to slow, and the forest seemed to grow even quieter. Benjamin felt his eyelids grow heavy as the peaceful energy of the moon took over. He lay down on the soft grass by the pond, his body sinking into the ground. He felt as though he was being cradled by the earth itself. As Benjamin drifted off to sleep, the moonlight kept watch over him, its soft glow creating a blanket of calm. Benjamin knew that he would always find peace in the moonlight, and every time he felt restless, he could return to this peaceful spot in the forest. The forest was quiet, the moon shining brightly above, and Benjamin slept soundly, knowing that peace was always just a moment away. Good night, dear one. May you find peace in your own moonlight and drift into the sweetest dreams. Once upon a time, in a quiet little forest, there lived a bear named Dreamer. Dreamer was a soft, gentle bear with fur as fluffy as a cloud. Every evening, as the sky turned a deep shade of purple, Dreamer would get ready for his bedtime journey. You see, Dreamer was a very special bear who had the magical ability to travel to Dreamland, where all the sweet dreams lived. One evening, as the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Dreamer yawned and stretched his arms wide. He was ready for another peaceful adventure. With his paws tucked under him, he closed his eyes and let the soft breeze carry him to the edge of Dreamland. The path was lined with glowing flowers that lit up like little lanterns, casting a soft, warm light all around. Dreamer smiled and took his first step along the path. The air smelled of fresh lavender, and the ground was soft like a warm, cozy blanket. As Dreamer walked, he could hear the soft whispers of the trees, telling stories of other bears who had traveled this way before. The gentle wind sang a lullaby, making Dreamer's journey feel even more peaceful. As Dreamer walked further, he reached a calm lake, where the water sparkled under the moonlight. He bent down to drink from the lake, and when he looked at his reflection, he saw that his eyes were already beginning to feel heavy. The quiet sounds of the lake and the soft rustling of the leaves were making him feel so peaceful. Dreamer knew that this was the perfect place to rest. He decided to lay down on the soft grass next to the lake, feeling the cool, gentle breeze on his fur. The stars above seemed to shine a little brighter, as if they were guiding him into a peaceful sleep. Dreamer closed his eyes and took a deep breath, letting the calming energy of the night fill his heart. As Dreamer drifted into sleep, the soft, magical creatures of Dreamland began to gather around him. The dream bears, who were kind and gentle like Dreamer, appeared from behind the trees. They were small, fluffy creatures who loved to help bears like Dreamer find their way to the sweetest dreams. They moved quietly, their soft paws making no sound as they tiptoed around Dreamer, ensuring that he was comfortable and safe. The dream bears whispered to each other, sharing stories of all the wonderful dreams that awaited Dreamer. They told him of magical forests where the trees would sing, of sparkling rivers that flowed with happiness, and of fields filled with soft, fluffy clouds. Dreamer smiled in his sleep, knowing that he was about to experience one of these beautiful dreams. As the night went on, the dream bears surrounded Dreamer, creating a protective circle around him. They hummed a gentle lullaby, their voices blending with the soft sounds of the wind and the rustling leaves. It was the perfect melody to drift off to sleep. The dream bears whispered, "Sleep well, dear dreamer. The sweetest dreams await you." The stars above twinkled softly, and the moon shone brightly, casting a gentle glow over the peaceful scene. Dreamer's heart filled with warmth as he felt the love and care of the dream bears surrounding him. He could feel himself sinking deeper into the most peaceful sleep he had ever known. In Dreamland, Dreamer journeyed through a forest made of candy trees, where the branches were filled with sugar plums. He floated on soft clouds, drifting from one dream to another, each one more beautiful than the last. The dream bears smiled at him as he wandered through his magical dreams, always by his side to guide him along the way. As Dreamer slept, the night passed peacefully. The soft sounds of the forest, the twinkling stars, and the gentle lullabies of the dream bears created the perfect place for him to rest and dream. Every now and then, Dreamer would let out a soft sigh of contentment, knowing that he was safe and loved. By morning, Dreamer awoke, feeling refreshed and happy. He opened his eyes to find the dream bears gone, but their love and warmth stayed with him. Dreamer stretched and yawned, ready to wake up and begin a new day, knowing that tonight, he would once again take his soft bedtime journey to Dreamland. And so, Dreamer's nights were always filled with peace and wonder. Each night, he traveled to Dreamland with the help of the dream bears, enjoying the soft, magical journey that always led him to the sweetest dreams. Good night, dear one. May your dreams be soft and filled with wonder, just like Dreamer's. Sweet dreams. Once upon a time, in a peaceful forest, there lived a gentle bear named Oliver. Oliver was a kind bear, known for his calm heart and quiet nature. Each night, as the forest became still, Oliver would look up at the starry sky and feel a sense of wonder. He loved the way the stars twinkled above him, casting a soft glow over the trees and the ground. One clear evening, as the moon shone brightly in the sky, Oliver decided to go on a quiet adventure. He had always wondered where the stars came from, and what it would be like to follow the path of light they left behind. So, with a soft yawn and a stretch, he padded quietly through the forest, his paws making no sound on the soft ground. As Oliver walked deeper into the woods, the stars above seemed to grow brighter, almost as if they were guiding him. The trees whispered softly in the wind, and the gentle rustle of the leaves added a peaceful melody to the night. The air was cool and fresh, with a hint of sweet flowers in the breeze. Oliver followed the twinkling lights, moving gently through the forest. The path ahead was lit by the soft glow of the stars, and with each step, Oliver felt more and more at peace. The quiet beauty of the night surrounded him, making him feel as though he was part of the magic of the world around him. As he walked, Oliver came across a small clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a beautiful stone fountain, its water sparkling under the moonlight. Oliver sat down beside the fountain, feeling the coolness of the water as it gently splashed in the quiet night. He took a deep breath, feeling calm and content. Suddenly, a gentle breeze blew through the trees, and the stars above seemed to shimmer even more brightly. Oliver looked up at the sky, and he saw something amazing. The stars began to dance, moving across the sky in patterns that seemed almost like a secret message. Oliver watched in awe as the stars moved in beautiful swirls, painting the sky with soft, glowing light. As he sat there, mesmerized by the stars, Oliver began to feel a peaceful warmth inside. He realized that the stars were not just faraway lights. They were part of the forest, part of the night, and part of him. The stars were always there, even when he couldn't see them, and they would always guide him through the darkest nights. After a while, Oliver stood up and continued his quiet adventure, following the starry path through the forest. The deeper he walked, the quieter the forest became, until he could only hear the sound of his own soft footsteps and the gentle whispers of the wind. It was as if the whole forest had fallen asleep, and Oliver was the only one awake, following the stars on his peaceful journey. Eventually, Oliver came to the edge of the forest, where the trees opened up to a wide meadow. The stars above were so bright that the meadow seemed to glow with a soft, silvery light. Oliver sat down in the middle of the meadow, feeling the soft grass beneath him. He looked up at the sky, watching the stars as they continued to dance in the night. As the night grew later, Oliver began to feel his eyes grow heavy. The quiet of the meadow, the soft rustle of the grass, and the gentle glow of the stars made him feel safe and relaxed. He closed his eyes, allowing the peacefulness of the night to fill him with calm. The stars above seemed to watch over him, and soon, Oliver fell into a deep, restful sleep, knowing that he was surrounded by the gentle beauty of the night. And so, Oliver's quiet adventure through the starry night came to an end, but he would always remember the peaceful journey, the twinkling stars, and the calmness that filled his heart. Good night, dear one. May your dreams be as peaceful as Oliver's journey under the starry sky. Sleep well. In the heart of a quiet forest, there lived a soft-hearted bear named Benny. Benny was known for his gentle nature, always walking quietly through the woods, enjoying the simple peace around him. He loved the soft whispers of the trees, the rustling of leaves, and the chirping of birds. Every night, when the world grew calm, Benny would find a cozy spot under a large oak tree and close his eyes to listen to the peaceful sounds of the forest. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, Benny decided to take a slow walk under the starry sky. The evening air was cool, and the soft breeze carried the scent of fresh flowers and damp earth. The sky above was painted with twinkling stars, each one shining brightly like a little light in the vast night. Benny smiled softly, feeling relaxed and at peace in this beautiful moment. As he walked, Benny felt his paws gently brushing against the soft grass. The forest seemed to be asleep, and Benny was the only one awake, enjoying the quiet beauty around him. The trees stood tall and still, their leaves barely moving in the breeze. The moonlight danced on the leaves, casting shadows that swayed gently in the wind. Benny continued his walk, letting the peaceful sounds of the forest lull him into a calm state. The sound of a nearby stream added a soothing melody to the night. The water trickled softly, creating a gentle rhythm that seemed to match Benny's peaceful heartbeat. After a while, Benny reached a little clearing in the forest. The moonlight bathed the clearing in a soft glow, making everything look magical. He sat down on a soft patch of grass, feeling the cool earth beneath him. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath, inhaling the fresh air of the night. The stillness around him was so calming, and Benny felt as though the entire forest was giving him a warm, comforting hug. As Benny sat there, he thought about how important it was to take time for himself and just relax. The world could sometimes be loud and busy, but in this moment, everything was quiet. Benny knew that this peaceful time was a gift, and he cherished every second of it. His thoughts became soft, like the breeze moving through the trees. His mind cleared, and all the little worries that sometimes crowded his thoughts began to fade away. The stars above twinkled even brighter as Benny sat in the calm of the night. He thought about how beautiful it was to simply be here, in the quiet, under the stars. There was no rush, no hurry, just the simple pleasure of being still and enjoying the night. Benny smiled as he thought to himself, sometimes, all we need is a quiet moment to relax and feel at peace. As Benny sat, he noticed how the forest seemed to come alive with gentle sounds. The soft rustling of the leaves, the distant call of an owl, and the gentle murmur of the stream all blended together in a soothing symphony. Benny felt his body relax more and more with every sound, every moment of peace. After a long while, Benny knew it was time to rest. He stood up slowly, stretched his legs, and took one last deep breath of the cool, fresh air. He felt lighter, as if all his worries had been carried away by the breeze. Benny smiled softly to himself and turned back towards his cozy den, knowing that the forest would always be there, full of peace and calm whenever he needed it. As Benny made his way home, he felt grateful for the quiet moments he had just experienced. The stars above seemed to shine even brighter, as if they were wishing him good night. Benny's heart was full of warmth, knowing that no matter what happened during the day, he could always find peace in the gentle beauty of the night. With a peaceful heart and a calm mind, Benny returned to his den, curled up in his soft bed, and drifted into a deep, restful sleep, surrounded by the comforting sounds of the forest. Good night, dear one. May your dreams be as calm and soothing as Benny's quiet walk under the stars. Once upon a time, deep in a peaceful forest, there lived a sleepy bear named Benny. Benny loved everything about the forest, the tall trees, the gentle streams, and the soft grassy meadows. Every night, As the sun set and the moon rose, Benny would wander through the forest, listening to the whispers of the trees and the songs of the night creatures. One quiet evening, as Benny wandered through the forest, he noticed something strange. There was a soft glow coming from behind a cluster of tall pine trees. Benny, always curious but never too hasty, slowly padded toward the light, his large paws barely making a sound on the soft earth. The closer he got, the brighter the glow became. Soon, Benny found himself standing before a beautiful clearing he had never seen before. In the middle of the clearing was a small, sparkling pond. The water shimmered with a soft, magical light, as if the stars themselves had come down to rest on its surface. Benny's eyes widened in wonder. He had never seen anything like it before. The forest always had a magical feel, but this place was special. Benny sat down by the pond and stared at the glowing water, feeling a sense of calm wash over him. As he sat quietly, he noticed something even more amazing. The trees around the clearing began to glow softly, their leaves shimmering with silver light. It was as if the entire forest was quietly celebrating something, and Benny couldn't help but feel like he was part of that celebration. Suddenly, a soft voice broke the silence. "Hello, Benny." Benny turned around in surprise. Standing behind him was an old owl, her feathers glowing softly in the moonlight. Her wise eyes twinkled as she looked at Benny with a gentle smile. "Who are you?" Benny asked, his voice soft with curiosity. "I am Ollie," the owl replied. "I guard the secret of this forest. This magical pond is not just a beautiful sight, Benny. It is a place where dreams come alive. It holds the secret to all the peaceful dreams that the forest creatures have." Benny tilted his head, his big ears twitching with interest. "Dreams?" he asked. "What kind of dreams?" Ollie smiled and fluttered her wings gently. "This pond is a special place where the forest's dreams are born. Every time the moon shines brightly, the pond gathers the peaceful energy from the stars and the trees. It makes the dreams of the forest creatures calm and sweet, helping them to sleep soundly through the night." Benny's eyes widened with understanding. "So, this is where all the peaceful dreams come from?" Ollie nodded. "Yes, Benny. And now you are here too. You have found the secret of the forest." Benny felt a warm, sleepy feeling inside him. The peaceful energy from the pond seemed to wrap around him like a soft blanket. He felt so calm, so relaxed, that his eyelids began to grow heavy. "Now, Benny," Ollie said gently, "it's time for you to rest. The forest has shared its secret with you. Close your eyes and let the peaceful dreams fill your heart." Benny nodded, too tired to say anything more. He lay down beside the pond, the soft glow of the water comforting him like a lullaby. The trees whispered softly, and the wind carried the scent of fresh pine. Benny let out a deep sigh, feeling safe and secure in the heart of the magical forest. As he drifted off to sleep, he could feel the dreams beginning to form in his mind. They were gentle, sweet dreams, full of quiet adventures and peaceful moments. The kind of dreams that made him feel calm and happy, knowing that he was always safe in the heart of the forest. The stars above twinkled brightly, and the moon watched over Benny as he slept soundly by the magical pond. The secret of the forest was safe, and Benny knew that every time he needed peaceful sleep, he could return to this magical place, where dreams were born, and where he would always find rest. "Good night, Benny. Sweet dreams." In the heart of a peaceful forest, there lived a gentle bear named Benny. Benny loved to explore the woods, feeling the soft earth beneath his paws, and listening to the rustling leaves above. He was known throughout the forest for his kindness, and the calm that surrounded him wherever he went. One evening, after a long day of wandering and discovering new paths, Benny felt unusually tired. The sun had set, and the sky was painted with shades of purple and blue. The stars began to twinkle softly, one by one, as the night sky stretched endlessly above him. Benny yawned, his eyes heavy with sleep, and he decided to find a quiet place to rest. As he walked through the forest, he came across a small, tranquil clearing. The moon hung low in the sky, casting a soft silver glow on the ground. Benny smiled as he saw a cozy little bed of soft moss right in the center of the clearing. It looked like the perfect place to sleep. He padded over to the moss bed and lay down, curling his large body comfortably into the soft green cushion. The cool night air was just right, and the gentle sounds of the forest around him made it feel even more peaceful. Benny closed his eyes, ready to drift off into a deep sleep. But as he lay there, a gentle voice came from the trees. It was the wise owl Ollie, who lived high in the branches of the tallest tree in the forest. "Hello, Benny," Ollie said, her voice soft and soothing. "I see you found a peaceful spot to rest." Benny opened his eyes and smiled sleepily. "Hello, Ollie. It's a perfect place. I'm so tired, but I don't want to fall asleep just yet. I want to know what makes the forest so peaceful at night." Ollie chuckled softly, her feathers ruffling in the night breeze. "The forest is always peaceful, Benny, especially at night. The trees whisper secrets to the moon, and the stars sing their lullabies to the earth. The wind carries the dreams of the forest creatures, and the quiet rustling of the leaves is like a song to help you fall asleep." Benny listened closely, feeling the calmness of the forest wash over him. The air was filled with the sweet scent of pine and earth, and the soft hum of the wind was like a lullaby just for him. Ollie continued, "If you listen closely, Benny, you'll hear the dreams of the forest floating around you, filling the air with their peaceful energy. Close your eyes, and you'll feel the magic of the night." Benny did as Ollie said. He closed his eyes, letting the gentle sounds of the forest soothe him. The wind whispered through the leaves, the stars twinkled overhead, and the cool night air wrapped around him like a soft blanket. Benny felt his body relax, his muscles softening as he settled into the moss bed. The magic of the night was like a gentle wave, rolling over him, making him feel calm and safe. As he lay there, Benny felt his thoughts slow down, like the soft ripples on the surface of a pond. The dreams of the forest began to take shape in his mind, dreams of peaceful walks through the woods, of swimming in the crystal-clear streams, and of playing with his forest friends under the glow of the moon. Each dream was gentle, like the caress of the wind on his fur, and Benny felt more and more at peace with each passing moment. The forest around him seemed to grow quieter, as if the trees and animals were all asleep too, sharing in the peaceful magic of the night. Benny could feel his breathing slow, each breath deep and steady, as he sank further into the softness of the moss bed. Soon, Benny's eyes grew heavier and heavier, and he let go of the world around him, the gentle lullaby of the forest, the sweet scent of the night air, and the soft whispers of the trees carried him away into a deep, peaceful sleep. And as Benny slept, the forest continued to hum its lullaby, keeping watch over him and every other creature in the woods. The night was peaceful, the stars were bright, and the world was at rest. Good night, Benny. Sweet dreams.